Welcome to the Specialist Trading Weekly Stock Review for the week ending November 5th, 2010, the first trading week of the month. We're going to go over in detail each of the trades we took from the nightly signals that are posted on the website. But before we do, as always, we ask that you please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you our performance results from our trading this week, but remember, we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to show you will be repeated in the future. So please take a moment to view our disclaimer, and then we shall begin this week's review. I'd like to start out this week's review with an email I received from a member of our stock trading course, and it starts out by saying, "Hi Stephen, I'm a new member to your course and I love all of the information I'm learning, but I have a question. Some nights you post 1 or 2 signals and other nights you post 8 or 10. Now, are these the average amount of signals that your strategies will generate on a daily basis?" That comes from FB. That's a very good question, and I want to start out by answering that by saying our goal, or my goal at Specialist Trading, is to teach you how to trade with the Specialist Edge. You notice that I emphasize teach you how to trade. This is really an online learning class or an online learning type of seminar. I really want you to learn and understand the concept and techniques, the same ones that were taught to me while I was trading on the floor. Therefore, when I post these nightly signals, these are the ones I feel are the best tools, the best signals for you to learn from, the best ones for you to watch and see how the process unfolds. That does not mean that these are all of the signals that have been generated on a nightly basis. There can be upwards of 50 to 100 signals posted. I go through each and every stock in the S&P 500 and see the best ones that I think that you can learn from the most, that exemplify the strategies and the concepts. And hopefully you'll be able to follow along and see how they unfold in these weekly videos and on a nightly basis. I don't necessarily ask that you trade along with me. You can if you'd like, but I really want you to learn so that ultimately you'll be able to go and apply the same process and find your own signals, things that work for you. There are a number of signals that we do not post or take in our trading account that are great winners over the weeks that we've seen in the past. That does not mean that we're not trading profitable signals ourselves. So there are a number of signals that are generated on a nightly basis. I am posting the ones that I feel have the highest probabilities for success. But there are still 10, 20, 30 other signals that are posted as well. It's up to you to learn these concepts and then apply them, and you can see signals that I have never even seen, or that are posted actually, that you'll see and that you can take on your own. Now, remember, you can trade along if you want to, but that's not required. You do not have to trade along if you do not want to. Another thing I'd like to actually answer as well, this was not an email, but I know there were some questions. Of the signals that I post, I know that there's sometimes some confusion. Remember, if you get a buy signal, you're always going to buy 1 tick above the previous bar's high. This requires you to either place a buy stop in there or to see how the stock opens and then place a limit in there or simply buy at the market. But remember, it's your responsibility to see the pre-opening indications. You have to check with your broker, or many software charting packages have this availability, so that you'll see if the stock's going to open up anywhere from 50 cents to 2 points higher. If you see that it's going to open up much higher when we have a buy signal, I would not recommend taking the trade, because many times you'll be entering the trade where you would actually have an exit signal. So it's your responsibility to find out. If you see that the stock's going to open up 5 or 10 cents above, that's fine. You still have some room to have some gains. But this is something that you'll have to learn over time. It's more of an experience play, and that's why, once again, I get back to this question of we don't necessarily require you to trade these right off the bat. We want you to learn and watch and see all the different things that can happen and see how you would actually take the trade. So we actually ask you to paper trade for a while before you actually commit any capital. Okay, I hope this answers your questions, and let's go on now to the stock positions that were initiated this week. Remember, these are posted on our website. You do not have to take the trades. You can trade along with me if you'd like, but we do not require you. We really want you to learn all of these concepts and techniques. Our first trade here was in TAP. This was using strategy number 4, and just to backtrack a little bit, you're going to see that strategy number 4 is our most common and popular strategy. You're going to see this happen a lot. This strategy is mainly geared for the short-term trade. On average, most strategy number 4 trades last anywhere from 1 to 3 days. Many times you'll see that you'll get in that day and exit the very same day. I think there's an example of that this week. But remember that you have to learn, go into our learning section and watch all the videos and all the different strategies that we offer. You have to realize which one best fits your trading personality and trading style. If you like to stay in a little bit longer, then you may want to be trading strategies number 1 or strategies number 2. It's up to you. Strategy number 4 is mainly geared towards day traders or guys that like to be in the market in and out in one day or two. But it also is one of the most common setups that you'll see. Now, we went long TAP on the first at 47.29. We exited 2 days later at 47.97 for 68-cent gain. Another thing about strategy number 4 is you're not going to be finding these 3, 4, 5-point gains the way you will with strategies 1, 2, and 3. On average, the gains will be anywhere from 50 cents to $1. Okay, so the first thing we want to ask ourselves, as we do with all of our strategies, is where is price in relation to the buy-sell line? The buy-sell line being the 50-period simple moving average. And price is above. If price is above, then we're looking for a buy setup. We're never going to go short, or I should say we're never going to go long if price is below the buy-sell line. All right, so price is, for all intents and purposes, above. So we want to find a valid setup bar. And according to our rules for strategy number 4, this is our setup bar. If you're not familiar with how to find a setup bar, remember, go to the video learning section and we explain it there in detail. Out of all these bars, this is the only bar that fits that requirement. So this means that if we trade on the next bar above this setup bar, we can go long, which is right here at this green horizontal line. So we opened a little bit higher, and this was within our benchmark of going long. It didn't open up 50 cents higher, but it opened up maybe about 10 cents higher. So we went long at 47.29 in the opening. We placed our stop just below the low of the setup bar. And according to our rules, we came up with our calculation for an exit, because with strategy number 4, we have a fixed exit. This is not something that is determined like the other strategies off of watching an indicator, and we don't know where we're going to get out until we actually have that signal given to us. We actually know before we get into this trade where we'll exit. And our exit calculation came out to 47.97. So upon entry, we simply placed an open order to exit all of our position at 47.97. As you can see, we got right up there and we exited. And look what happened. As does so many times, I'm not going to say that it's guaranteed, but so many times we'll get right up to that level and then we'll change direction. So this is why this is a great strategy for the short-term trade. If you're only looking to take really quick gains and you want to trade a lot of shares, this is a great strategy to trade. You made a quick 68 cents in a day or two. Our next trade was in X-ray, using once again strategy number 4. I believe all the signals this week that we took were using strategy number 4. We went long on the first at 31.42, exited on the fourth at 32.03 for a quick gain of 61 cents once again. Once again, we're above the buy-sell line, so we're only looking to go long. And now we have to come up with our calculations to see which bar meets all of the requirements to be a setup bar. And that's this bar right here, circled in blue. So this means we can go long if we trade above the high of that setup bar, which we did on the next bar at 31.42. We placed our stop just below the setup bar, and then we came up with our calculations, once again our proprietary calculation of where to place our exit to get out of the entire position, which was 32.03. And as you can see, yesterday we got right up there to 32.03. Once again, we got up to these levels, and look what happened. The short-term direction changed. So this is why this strategy is perfectly suited for short-term traders. Our next trade was in TIE. This was strategy number 4 once again, but in this particular instance, we went short. We went short on the 3rd, which was Wednesday at 19.16, and guess what? The very same day, we covered our short at 18.45. We made a quick 71 cents. You see how there's this common range here of you're making anywhere from 50 cents to $1. Once again, if you're someone who likes to be in trades a lot longer, from anywhere from a week to 3 weeks, and likes to look for those 3 to 5 to 10-point gains at times, then look at it for another strategy. Go to our video learning section and find the strategies that fit that category. But TIE here was a perfect setup to go short. And remember, once again, when we're looking at the buy-sell line, we ask ourselves, where is price in relation to the buy-sell line? Now, in this particular instance, we're kind of all over the place. We're above it, we're below it, we're above it, and back and forth. But the main rule is, if we're going to go long, we must enter above the buy-sell line. And if we're going to go short, as we did in this instance, we must enter below the buy-sell line. So if we're looking to go short, we have to find all of the rules that are met to find our setup bar, and that's this bar right here. So this bar meets all of the rules. It's a valid setup bar. This means we can go short if we trade one tick below, and that will be below the buy-sell line, so it's a valid short. And we got short at 19.16. And as you can see here, we have two levels for stop placement. There's stop placement number 1, which is the normal placement, and then there's stop placement number 2. This is a proprietary calculation, once again, if you like to take on more risk. And we're going to show you in another example here where had you used stop placement number 2, you had a nice gain. But if you want to be more conservative, we suggest using stop placement number 1. Okay? And then you come up with a calculation of where to exit, which came out to 18.45. And once again, we got short. We placed our stop at stop placement number 1 and then came up with a calculation where to cover, and look